Y'all, it is straight up gorgeous out today in DC. It's like 63 degrees. So how about we go do some dance, yeah? Drex here from Drex Factor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today, I want to teach you some things about dancing with those 3-beat weaves. But before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Fire Mecca, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterror Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing businesses and what they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I've got down in the description of this video. And special thanks to non-business friends of the channel, Johnny Howard, Lain Mochinsky, and Pekha Pekkonen. Thank you all so very much for your support for my work and my mission. So like 3-beat weaves are deceptively hard to dance with, right? I mean, we have our 2-beat weaves, in which case we can literally just put 1 beat of the poi on 1 beat of the music, but they look kind of lopsided, don't they? Whereas if we go with our 3-beat weaves, which actually look symmetrical, we wind up in a place where we now have too many beats to work with, and we're gonna have to do a lot of them in order to catch up with the music. You know, 3 doesn't divide into 4 very easily at all. Now, there are some people that do teach that method for dancing with 3-beat weaves, but I'm not one of them. I think that 3-beat weaves are more useful as an accent tool. I covered this a bit in my video on musicality a couple months ago. But long and short of it is that I think that there's a lot more to be gained in terms of dancing to the music by accenting what's going on with your hands instead of the poi themselves. So let's dive into some examples, shall we? Okay, so let's start pretty basic and then work our way up. Now, I know that I'm primarily talking about 3-beat weaves in this video, but I would be remiss if I didn't also include information on 2-beat weaves. So this is actually something that I did for a piece of choreography for my poi dance class a little while ago. I had us play around with the idea of doing a 2-beat that is accompanied with a step out to the side. So if I cross left over, I step to the right. I cross right over, I step to the left. So let me show you this with music right quick. All right, so check it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. We go over. 2. We go over. 3. We go over. 4. We go over. So that's like relatively straightforward. It doesn't take a lot of dance prowess in order to make that work. You just have to be able to step on the beat, yeah? And of course, those 2-beat weaves are helping you do it. It's just a matter of timing things up so that you cross your hands on the beat and cross your hands on the beat. That's it. Okay, but can we do this with 3-beat weaves? After all, we have that extra beat to work with now. So when we cross over, we're now crossing right back over, yeah? Short answer is yes, but it's kind of tricky. Okay, so option number 1 here would be that you just take a step every time you cross one hand over the other. And actually, this isn't bad if you, say, want to take that same idea from our 2-beat weaves and do it in double time, for example. So that works, but it's also pretty quick. The other option would be if you, say, want to wait every other time that you have a hand crossing over. So I do right hand, but I'm going to wait not then, but I'm going to take the next time that the left goes over. Not then, but the next time the right goes over. Not then, but the next time the left goes over. You see, I'm kind of hanging out for a second rather than taking the step instantly, and that gives me a little bit of breathing room there. So these 2 options definitely work, but they're definitely not my favorite either. Part of the reason being that we're basically keeping our hands in this small little T-Rex place. And I like being able to give our poi volume when we so choose. It's also at this point that I'm going to switch us from doing things in a wheel plane orientation to doing things in a wall plane orientation. As I'm doing this, you'll note that I'm basically just switching into waist straps because that's just kind of how things go with the 3-beat weave when you put it in wall plane. If you don't have your reverse weaves and waist straps down just yet, that's okay. I'll include tutorials to both of those things down in the description, but just know that is now the territory that we're exploring. All right, and from this position right here, honestly, one of the simplest things that we can do is we can just pivot from one side to the other on the beat. You notice how I'm making my hand movements here pretty sharp in order to hit either side of that move. Let's listen to that with some music, yeah? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, sticking on the beat on this one can be a little bit of a challenge, not the least of which because, again, we have that problem where we're dealing with 3 downbeats to the poi instead of an even number. So as we're kind of hanging out here, we kind of have to like pull ourselves really rapidly from one end to another. We basically have to almost skip a beat of the poi in order to make that work. So it can work, but it might be a little bit challenging. We can also, of course, play around a little bit with our volume, and this might be something that works for those of you that don't have your reverse weaves or your waist straps down just yet. As you're performing a 3-beat weave, you know how on each side of your body there's that place where your arms kind of separate for a second, where you're unwrapping and rewrapping your hands? Now, I can either like exaggerate that a little bit, or I can exaggerate that a whole lot, like so. And this also becomes a tool for us in how we put this weave to music too. Now, as you can see, I can do a lot of stuff with my body in there too, from say like taking steps, boom, when I go big, all the way to when I say switch to a side, I can use that as a moment to say introduce a little bit of lateral body movement. All of these things work well. And I hope you're seeing, like I do, that adding a little bit of volume to this also adds a lot of visual interest to it as well. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't include perhaps my favorite use of the 3-beat weave and poi dance. So this is where it becomes helpful to know that when we perform fountains, what we're really just doing is performing waist straps where we're adding up and down motion. We go down and around, we go up and over. And well, we can do that as we're turning our bodies too. So the simplest version of this is to just turn your body around as you're performing that fountain. Another option would be to turn that into a pirouette, or my favorite option, you can turn that into a tour jeté and do a jump with it, like so. So let's check out all of these options with music, shall we? Cool! So, I hope that gave y'all out there some ideas of what you can do with your own 3-beat weaves as you're dancing with them. If you got anything out of this video, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Help other people find it, help keep the conversation going, and of course, help my channel grow. Oh yeah, and if y'all out there have your own particular things that you like doing with 3-beat weaves as you're dancing, please leave me a comment and let me know. I would love to see what other options that you all out there have found yourselves. My hair is a mess now. That'll happen when dancing though. Anyhow, this video would not be possible if not for the kind support of all of these lovely people right here. These are my Flow patrons over on Patreon, and they, along with the people listed down in the description, help to make this video and all the videos on this channel possible. Thank you one and all so very much for your very, very generous support. And if you out there watching like these videos and are not currently supporters and would like to become supporters, you can do that by heading on over to patreon.com/DirectsFactorPoi and signing up. There you can get access to a whole host of awesome rewards, and even better, you'll be helping me out in my mission to bring poi spinning and flow arts to the whole wide world and making a lot of people happy in the process. So go check that out, please and thank you. If you'd like to check out some of my other videos on poi dancing, I will go ahead and leave a playlist link down in the description, as well as up here on screen if you are watching on YouTube. Also, the YouTube algorithm thinks that you might like this top video based upon your past viewing habits, so maybe give that a look-see as well. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to get out and flow today, use these tips, and I'll see you with a new video real soon. Peace.